I'm religious, but I don't go to church. And for a long time, I felt ashamed to admit that out loud. There was a time when Sunday mornings were the anchor of my week. I volunteered in the kids' ministry. I led small groups. I showed up early to stack chairs and stayed late to clean coffee spills off folding tables. It wasn't just routine, it felt like family. But little by little, the warmth began to fade. First, it was during Bible study. I opened up about my anxiety, my panic attacks, my sleepless nights. The room went silent. Then, someone quoted a verse at me like a bandage. Do not be anxious about anything. No one asked how I was really doing. No one followed up. I felt like I had broken some unspoken rule, that real Christians weren't supposed to feel weak. Then came the sermon series on tithing. Every week felt like a guilt trip. At the time, I was in between jobs, barely covering rent. But I was told that maybe, just maybe, my financial disobedience was blocking God's blessing. I cried in the car that day. Not because I didn't want to give, but because I already was. Quietly, generously. In ways they didn't see. A few months later, I brought a friend to church. She wore jeans, a hoodie, and bright blue braids. The greeters smiled, but their eyes said everything. She never came back. And honestly, I don't blame her. Then it happened. A leader I trusted, deeply trusted, was quietly asked to step down. No explanation. No transparency. Just rumors, whispers, and damage control. It felt like watching a family sweep dirt under the rug and call it clean. One Sunday morning, I sat in my car, engine running, hands gripping the steering wheel, and I couldn't go in, not out of rebellion, but out of exhaustion. I didn't feel fed. I felt managed. So I drove to the lake instead. I sat on a park bench, opened my Bible, and let it all out. I told God everything, no filter, no fake smiles. And in that moment, with the wind in the trees and the word in my hands, I felt more seen, more heard, more whole than I had in any sanctuary for months. Since then, I've learned something powerful. Church is beautiful when it reflects Christ, but God is not confined to four walls and a microphone. I still believe in community. I still believe in gathering with other believers. I just do it differently now. Sometimes it's coffee with a friend who loves Jesus and doesn't judge. Sometimes it's a late-night prayer call with someone walking through the same storm. Sometimes it's just me and God, journaling on my couch, worship music playing low, tears falling freely. I'm not anti-church, but I've learned being the church matters more than attending one. So if you go to church, praise God. And if you don't, but you still seek Him, don't let shame silence your faith, because God still meets us, even in the parking lot.